Hello sweet friends, welcome to another DIY adventure. In today's video we are going to be doing some amazing Dollar Tree DIYs, treat making, garden bench building, and even some healthy little snack ideas at the end. So let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you some DIY Dollar Tree and thrift store decor crafts. So I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. Listen, y'all don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. And we are going to be using items from the Dollar Tree thrift store or inexpensive, budget-friendly ways you guys can dress up your home without breaking the bank. Y'all, seriously, we're going to have so much fun in this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafty. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make an amazing two-tiered Easter cake. So we're going to take some Dollar Tree foam board, and then I picked up this larger bucket from Walmart for 98 cents, and then some of these little cups as well. And I'm just going to cut out some circles that are the size of the bottom of the foam board because I need the foam board to drop down into the little buckets to fill up this space, because we're going to be stacking these cakes and we don't want to use any more of our spackling than we have to. So once you have your little rounds cut, you're going to hot glue them into the bottom part of the foam board, and then you can just take your featherweight spackle, and it is by DAP. You can get it at Dollar Tree in a small container, or I usually just go to Home Depot and spend a couple of dollars more and get the larger one. And you're going to take one of your little Dollar Tree crafting putty knives and begin to putty on your frosting. So I'm using the little crafting knife and I'm just gently smoothing the frosting, and it does take some work. This is a little bit sped up so it wouldn't take so long, but you guys kind of get the drift. Just pretend like you're frosting a cake. You're just going to go back and forth until you get that little hole filled and you get enough frosting on there. The next thing I want to do is make a little foam board round, and this is what my cake is going to sit on top of. So I'm just going to take and hot glue the smaller round to the bottom of the cake, and then I'm going to take one of these little Dollar Tree doilies. This was in the Valentine's Day section, but they sell the round doilies as well. That actually would have worked better. I'm just trying to use what I already have on hand. So I'm cutting the doily to fit around the bottom part of my cake, and I'm basically just creating like a little cake bottom. So just continue to glue the little doilies around, or go to the Dollar Tree and get the doily rounds. They're like 32 to a pack for $1. Anyway, I thought it would also be really cute to do a pink one since this is going to be Easter and I'm using a lot of pastels. Now once I have my little bottom of my cake round done, I'm just going to hot glue the cake to my little cake plate or cake round. Then I'm going to take some more of that spackling and I'm just going to frost around the bottom part of the cake. So I did get a little bit messy with this, but it is going to be somewhat covered up with some of those little Dollar Tree glitter balls. I'm kind of using those like you would use jelly beans. So again, this is an Easter cake, and you can take some sprinkles. You can cut up some little foam sprinkles, or you can even order some if you don't feel like making your own. They have really cute sprinkles on Etsy, and just like pretty much anywhere. Amazon, you guys can get some little faux sprinkles. Now I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree Easter bunny, and it came in like a little foam pack, and I just used, you're going to use your DAP to attach everything. So use a little bit of your spackling to attach your bunny, and then you can use some of the little Dollar Tree glitter vase fillers, these little balls, and to me they look like little jelly beans. So you can see I'm adding a tiny bit of the DAP spackling to attach my little jelly beans, my little faux jelly beans or glitter balls. And then I did add even some more sprinkles in and around where it still kind of needed to be filled in. And I thought the cake looked really cute like this, but you can go an extra step and you can get some of the little Dollar Tree cake maker packets. So they actually have like a cake icing tip and bag, and you can put your spackling down inside of there and then just begin to kind of create frosting. I was really nervous doing this. I haven't done a cake in quite a while, and so bear with me on this, you guys. But you just squeeze your frosting out almost like you would be piping a real cake, and you kind of want to do like a little motion where it kind of like just guys kind of goes back and forth as you move your little cake round. And so here is how it turned out. Oh my goodness, I was so excited to create this because I have been drooling over all of the faux cakes that I'm seeing everybody have like in their really pretty fancy Easter displays. And I thought, gosh, I know that we can do this on a budget. And I really thought that those little Walmart plaid buckets would be so cute. And it also takes up so much less spackling. But you guys can always use any really gift box or anything, cover it with some spackling, and that can be a cake base as well. So I hope you guys are having fun with this, and get ready. Hang on, we have quite a ride in this video. So many more DIYs to come. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of those little plastic bunnies and I'm going to chalk paint it white, and you're going to want to let that dry. Then I'm going to take some of my featherweight DAP spackling and I'm going to create a bunny cake. And this was so fun, and I've had this idea for a while to do. So I'm just using a little popsicle stick and I'm gently layering on the spackling, just kind of like a real thin layer almost, because with the white paint I didn't really have to goop like a whole ton on. And then I'm kind of giving it like a little back and forth motion to make it look like it's actual frosting. I then decided that I want it to be kind of like an ombre or mix in a little bit of pink to it. So I did get some pink paint and I dabbed that in. You can tell that I'm at the bottom of the barrel on my spackling. So anyway, use what you guys have and use it all. That's what I do. Okay, so I'm just going to take that little bit of pink paint that I mixed in there and kind of brush it on to my bunny to kind of make it look like a little bit of a pink rainbow bunny. I thought that would be super cute. I think Easter is the perfect time to really splurge on some fun pastel decor throughout your home. And then I kind of like tried to make the ears look like a little bit pinky as well. But again, just have fun with it. And this is really a really fun craft that you all can do with your kiddos and your grandkids, because there's really no hot glue involved, but it does get a little bit messy, so make sure you cover your workspace. The next thing I'm going to do is use my little craft tool, and you can get these at Walmart in a 3-pack, and I'm going to take some of that spackling and I'm going to add a little bit on one of those foam glitter balls. And so the glitter balls come in a big pack at Dollar Tree, and they say foam vase filler, but they're perfect for like Easter crafty. You guys can see I'm doing some awkward mom dancing. And then again, you guys can make your own sprinkles by just cutting up some little bitty tiny pieces of foam, or you can buy some on Etsy or Amazon, or you can also use little beads that Dollar Tree sells. I've used that before for sprinkles, or you guys can even cut up some little tiny pieces of paper. Now, I like to put my sprinkles on when my spackling is wet, but if your spackling has dried, just a little tip, you guys can add some Mod Podge and then add your sprinkles. The next thing I want to do is take my little Dollar Tree cake set, and this is just like what you would actually use to put a cake on. And what you do is you put your spackling down inside of the bag and put your little piping tip on, and then you can just pipe like some pretty icing on. Now, my icing piping skills are a little bit rusty. In fact, I've really only used an icing piping bag on fake cakes. So I do need a little bit of practice, but you just kind of use a forward and backward motion to try to give it like that little bit of a fluffy look. I also think I may pop into Walmart and get a nicer tip, because the Dollar Tree tips like don't have very, they're just not a great tip. So you really kind of have to work for it. But anyway, I also added some little felt bows to the top of her ears. And here is that fun and fabulous little Easter shaped cake. And then I did end up popping it onto some little fake grass in my little Easter display setting. Oh my goodness, we have so many more fun DIYs coming up, but I just thought this would be so cute, and again, a great one to do with kiddos or grandkids, or if you just love to kind of tinker around, this is a fun one to try. You really can't mess it up. Just be patient with yourself and give yourself grace. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take 2 of these home signs and I'm going to flip them over and create a little Dollar Tree garden bench. The next thing I want to do is just gently take a crafty knife and pull those staples out, and then I did give it a coat of white spray paint. That wasn't covering very well, so I ended up using some chalk paint. Now I'm going to flip my home signs back over and I'm going to take some popsicle sticks and I am going to measure to see, because I want to make a garden bench, but I'm going to use these 2 little pink waste baskets that you can get at Dollar Tree, or you can really use like any little garden pot or just anything that you can use that is going to stabilize your garden bench. So anyway, now I'm just going to take and hot glue my popsicle sticks to the back of my signs because I need my sign to stay together. So I want to make it really secure here. So I used 3 popsicle sticks this way, and then I ended up like kind of diagonally using some popsicle sticks as well. Now, because I used the waste baskets for my base, it was really a really sturdy garden bench, which is what I was going for. I just felt like the waste baskets may have been a little bit chunky for legs, but if you kind of have some vines cascading over it, I think it would make up for that. So the next thing I want to do is take some E6000 glue and then also some hot glue, and your E6000 glue is going to be your permanent hold, and then you want to hot glue where you didn't put the E6000 glue down. And so then I'm just going to pop that on to the back of my little signs, and I'm going to do 1 on each side. And I did want to kind of like make sure that there was room on the garden bench. So I put them right in the center. That way nothing wobbles around. If you actually end up using it to put some plants on it, I probably will keep it in my crafting studio. And used like to put some little cute bunnies and some like little lanterns and some fun things like that on. Now I am going to just lightly chalk paint the back of it. Nobody's going to see underneath it, but just in case. And you guys can tell that I'm running out of my chalk paint, so I had to like kind of pop it on top of my little signs here. Anyway, give it a good layer of paint. I gave it 1 generous layer of chalk paint, and that was able to really get my little garden bench covered. I want to make it kind of like a shabby chic garden bench. So that's what I was going for with this, but you guys always can use whatever colors you love. Now I'm going to take 2 of the little Dollar Tree garden gates, and I'm going to zip tie them together. I have 1 left over from last season that was already painted white. And so I'm just going to paint the other one white as well, but you just want to zip tie each end and then also zip tie it in the center. Now, once the garden gate was painted, I enlisted the help of Mr. Romantic, and he is going to help me attach it to the back of my little bench. So he took his drill and he just drilled several different holes in the back of the bench, and luckily it did not crack like the little plywood or whatever. It's not really made out, it's made out of like a particle board. Anyway, then he took some of my zip ties and he just pushed them through and then attached the little garden gate as well. And it's actually really sturdy on there. I was pretty surprised, but he did use about 5 to 6 little holes that he just drilled with his screwdriver. So pretty easy to do there. I don't usually work with the power tools a whole bunch, and I just thought it would be fun for you guys to say hi to him and to kind of have his help. So anyway, there he is helping me out with my little garden bench, and it ended up being so stinking cute. Oh, I also want to let you know that he waited and he pulled the zip ties closed, starting from the outside and working its way in. He said that way it didn't pucker. Anyway, so he has a little different method on some of his stuff that he does, but I thought it turned out absolutely perfect. And then I just popped some little cutie goodies on top of it with this little sign and a couple of little carrots. And then there's like a little garden idea, but you guys could really put real plants on this and then pop it next to a window. And then there's that cute little Dollar Tree bunny that we created, some candlesticks. So you guys could really get creative and use it for anything, any kind of little low shelf that you might need. My daughter's bed even like sits low to the ground, so she likes to use low shelves as well. For the next DIY, I want to share with y'all how to create like a 2-tier, 3-tiered tray. And this is going to be next to my coffee station. So I just popped one of those little welcome peeps signs back behind my little 2-tiered tray, and that way you can't see the cord when I'm saying good morning to you guys with my good morning cup of coffee. And then at Target Dollar Spot, they had those little round wreaths, and I just popped that on top of my little 2-tiered tray. And then I have these cute little faux muffins. I'll link some in my Amazon store for you guys. I also get those little flickering flameless candles off of Amazon, and then I'm just popping in my cute little coffee mugs. A lot of you all ask me where I get my coffee mugs, and I find my coffee mugs either at TJ Maxx primarily or the thrift store. Those are the two places I hunt for coffee mugs, and lately I've even been having some of you all send me coffee mugs. So shout out to all the little friends out there that are spoiling me. And so you can see I'm just kind of playing around with this, popping those little faux muffins in there, and they're so nice to have. And then here are those prayer cards, and everybody asks me where I get my prayer cards. I get them at Dollar Tree. They're just a great way to start my morning. I read one every single morning as I'm making my coffee, and it just helps me with my day. And then this little garden bunny was $3, I believe, at the Target Dollar Spot. So there's some little fun goodies in here. Oh, and those little carrots were $1 at the Target Dollar Spot, and that was quite a steal in my opinion. So here's just a fun idea on how you guys can create kind of a little good morning setting for you in your kitchen. It is a little bit over decorated probably for a tiered tray, because I actually use it and pop my mugs in and out of it, but it just really makes me happy. Like when I wake up in the morning, I just love to see some pretty decor, some cute little prayer cards, and then have my cup of coffee, and then I share that with you guys every morning on my Instagram story. Now I have been using my Nespresso, and that was a gift from Mr. Romantic for Christmas. And also I wanted to let you all know that there are prayer cards available on Amazon. Those little prayer cards I just showed you. I'll try to link some in my Amazon store for you guys as well. And then a lot of you all ask me what kind of coffee I'm brewing in the morning. It's the Nespresso pods. And so they're compatible with the Nespresso machine. You can order those off Amazon as well. They're a little bit of a splurge, but they're way less than it would be if you're going to go to Starbucks for like a coffee out at the Starbucks store. They also sell little Starbucks Nespressos at Target if you guys need to pick some up there. I think I will though go back to a drip coffee maker or a Keurig eventually, because an espresso is pretty strong, just an FYI. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all some super adorable ideas for making some little cake plates or cake stands or just little stands. These could be used for plants, but I'm just going to take one of those Dollar Tree wooden heart signs. This was left over from my Valentine's Day decor. And then I'm just going to take these little wooden beads. Dollar Tree sells wooden beads, but they're colored. So I did order this pack off of Amazon. It's a huge, ginormous pack. I'll link it in my Amazon store as well in my craft section for you guys if you need a lot of beads. But I'm just going to hot glue these beads to the back of my little heart wooden plaque, and then I'm going to add one more bead on top of it just to give it a little bit of height. I wanted to have something to put my cute little cake plates on and all of that fun stuff. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create another little stand. This can be a cake stand, a plant stand, whatever suits your fancy. And this is just one of those large, oversized Dollar Tree Easter signs, and I had chalk painted it white. And then I'm taking these little wooden beads and I'm hot gluing them to the bottom of the egg. And I am going to do 2 little wooden bead layers. So I will tell you guys, when you're putting these wooden beads on, to just add a little bit of glue. You could even use wood glue and just let it dry. I do like the way hot glue though has like an instant result. But again, you also want to use 4, and that will stabilize your little egg. And I just thought this was such a fun idea. I see like these little wooden stands, at TJ Maxx and seasonal stands, and they're so expensive. So I thought this would be a great little fun dupe. So for the next DIY, I'm going to take some of the wooden little kind of smaller egg signs, and these actually come in the kids coloring pack, and they're a wooden sign at Dollar Tree, and then a little Dollar Tree candlestick, and I just hot glued that to the little egg, and that way I had a little cupcake stand. Now here I'm kind of playing with some ideas of popping my bunny cake, my faux bunny cake on, and then my little cupcake. And I decided to make another one because I knew I was going to make more faux treats and I would just need more of them to kind of give them height and dimension. Now I decided they looked a little bit plain, just all painted white, and so I decided to take some of this cute little, it's like a pastel colored paper. These are at Hobby Lobby for $0.25 or 4 for $1, just for these like kind of papery ones. But I'm cutting them out the size of the egg. And then for the life of me, I don't know how this happened, but I ran out of Mod Podge, you guys. So I'm just going to hot glue the paper onto the little egg, which isn't a big deal. I would have preferred it to be Mod Podged on there, but this way you don't really have any bubbles and you don't have the annoying drying time that you have with Mod Podge. Although it's not annoying, it's a blessing to be able to craft, but sometimes I get impatient if you guys, and let me know if you're there with me. Anyway, I'm going to do one more, and this paper is the polka dot paper from Hobby Lobby. Again, 4 for $1, pretty great little deal, and you guys can have fun just crafting it up. I like to pick up a couple of these papers for every season. So if it's Easter, I'll pick up some Easter colored paper. If it's Christmas, I'll pick up a little Christmas colored paper. That way you guys can make tags or you can embellish them in this way. So there's the little egg polka dot one. And then I also even added some polka dot paper to my heart stand. So check out how cute and fun these little stands are. Listen, you guys, I went to TJ Maxx looking for little cupcake stands and cake stands, and they didn't have any. Now the one pink stand that I do have though is left over from last year, and that was from the Target dollar spot. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys how to make some yummy, delicious fake cake chocolate cake slices. Okay, this is the first time I've ever made chocolate cake slices, so I am so excited to share this with you guys. You're going to take some foam. You can get it from the craft store, from Dollar Tree, and you just want to cut it into like a little wedge, like the size of a cake. So when you think about cutting a piece of cake, you just want to cut it into a cake size. And I did 2 that kind of look like a sitting wedge, and then 1 that looks like it's laying down. The next thing I wanted to do was take some of this brown paint. Another little tip I have for you guys is when you're crafting, if you can kind of bulk do some things, so you can tell I'm doing a chocolate bunny over here, which I'm going to show you guys in the next DIY. But once I have brown paint on my hands, I want to get as much brown painting done as I can, because golly, you guys, I made a super big mess with this chocolate. We can pretend like it's chocolate, can't we? It's fat-free. Of course, we don't want to eat this. Now, these would be fun to do with kiddos or grandkids, but you may want to have them wear some gloves because it does make quite a bit of mess, and make sure you lay something down with it. Also, the other thing is that I did notice that the foam absorbs paint. So you're going to need to use quite a bit of paint on this, which just make sure you have a lot of brown paint. So this was a pretty big tube, and I don't really use this brown paint very often, so it wasn't a big deal. But I went to town painting all of the sides of my little piece of styrofoam here. Now, maybe you don't have a ton of brown paint, but you want to do a white piece of cake, a brown piece of cake, a pink piece of cake. You could do purple cake, whatever color you love. You guys go for it. Get out your paints, get out your paintbrush, and have fun. Just have a blast. I had so much fun making these faux treats. It was so therapeutic for me. And maybe it was a good thing I was out of Mod Podge, because it forced me to kind of get out of my comfort zone and make some faux treats and just do some different things. So sometimes that's another thing you guys can do, is kind of look around your craft stash, and maybe you don't have 1 thing or 2 things, but you have something else that you've kind of put on the back burner. You can whip out and just pump some fun music and just have fun crafting and decorating. So once I had got this completely covered, I got a little impatient, I will tell you guys. You probably want to let your paint dry. I gave my paint about an hour to dry, and it wasn't even dry in an hour's time. So, but I did glob on quite a bit. I'm kind of a paint globber when it comes to painting things. I'm also a messy painter, as you guys can tell as well. So the next thing I wanted to do was take some of the Dollar Tree caulk, and this is actually in the automotive section. And this I'm going to make a pretty little, it's going to look like faux frosting here. So I just made a line down the center of my fake cake, and then I'm making kind of like some little loop-de-loops. I didn't feel like those looked awesome, so I decided to make some little, to turn my loop-de-loos into some swirly swirls. So I'm taking my little Dollar Tree caulk and I'm just kind of swirling it around, and look, it just looks delicious. It looks like it's like meant to be, even though it was a happy little accident. So anyway, I'm doing my loop-de-loos again and then kind of doing some swirly doodads, and it really ended up looking to me like it was meant to happen. So then I had to brush my tip off to get my white line down the other center part. And so then that is going to make a fun little cake. Now I'm going to take it an extra step further. From the Dollar Tree, I grabbed an icing piping cake bag. Okay, there's no icing in here though. This is again that that spackling. You can get it at Dollar Tree, but again, I get my spackling at the home improvement store, Home Depot. Okay, the other thing is you want to use featherweight spackling, and the DAT brand for me has been the best. It's about $6 for a tub of it. Now, check this out. How adorable does this look? By now, I've done so much cake piping. I've really started having fun with it, and I'm less nervous to do it. At first, I was really nervous to play with this, mainly because I didn't want to mess it up, but you guys really can't mess this up, honestly. And if you do, you can just scrape it off and give it a whirl again. And now I'm going to do my laying down cake slice, and I'm doing it in kind of the same fashion with the little swirly doodad days and the little pretty icing. So have fun with it, get creative, take a deep breath, don't be too hard on yourself, and go for it. And here is how they all turned out. So fun and fabulous, and looking as if they were fresh from the bakery, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. Now, I did add a little doobly dad to the center, like a little whipped cream topping, and I think over the weekend I might make some fake cherries. So I might paint some of those little glitter foam vase fillers and make them into cherries, and then add like some glossy Mod Podge. I'm going to see if that works. Otherwise, I may just cheat and grab some cherries from the craft store if they have them, like maybe some little mini cherries. I might look for them on Amazon too. I thought that'd be fun to add into some of my treats. But here is an overview of how the chocolate treats looked in with the Easter treats, which I thought it was kind of like a fun way to mix and match those. I'm not sure what kind of little Easter goodies I should add to those. Okay, so for the next Dollar Tree DIY, this is another amazing one that I have to show you guys. This is one of those little Dollar Tree Easter plastic goodies, and I just chalk painted it white. The chalk paint is going to give my regular paint a really good surface to adhere to. And it really did, you guys. I only had to use one layer of chalk paint and then one layer of my brown paint. And the brown paint had a bit of a gloss to it, but if you guys don't have brown glossy paint, you guys could always just use some glossy Mod Podge over some regular acrylic paint. But you want to paint it in a chocolate color, so you can make any color chocolate bunny you want. But I'm going for the delicious milk chocolate bunny. Yum, yum, yum. And of course, again, this is not edible. It's a fake treat, but it's still fun to have popped into my little display. So again, I'm having fun with this and getting creative and just adding tons and tons of paint to really get a good, nice layer. Now, I did go in and do the front and the back. So these bunnies come together and they're yellow originally. And I will tell you that I got a little bit of paint like in the cracks of one side of my bunny, so it didn't go together quite as nicely as I wanted it to. So just be careful if you guys do plan to put them back together. You may want to kind of scrape the little edge if it has paint on it, but not a big deal. You could always give them a little hot glue or E6000 on there as well. But have fun with your bunny. You could probably even get really creative and do some detailed eyes and nose if you wanted to. I just wanted mine to look like solid milk chocolate, and I was totally down for that. and it's making me so hungry for chocolate. Comment and let me know if you guys are getting hungry for some treats. And I am going to share with you guys a treat in this video at the end of the video, but it's going to be a healthy treat because I'm trying to really get healthy. Now that my little chocolate bunny has all dried, I'm going to take this cute little pink ribbon and tie it around his neck, and that's also going to kind of help hold him together. So I've taken and I've, pushed the two plastic pieces back together, and I'm going to very kind of cinch it up, and that way my chocolate bunny will hold together. And I'm just going to do a quick and easy little bow. This is just like a little shoelace bow, like you would be tying your shoes. I'm going to knot it at the neck and then kind of gently pull it over. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys a fun little hack on how to take some of those little garden flags from Dollar Tree and the little garden stake, and you can pull the little top part of the flag out. It comes with like a plastic piece in it that I guess is just made for hanging, but I'm going to pull that plastic piece out so I can put it onto this little garden flag stand that they sell at Dollar Tree, and that way I have a cute little garden flag. And this is a super easy DIY, you guys. I don't even know that it really should be a DIY, except for maybe some of you guys don't know about this, and I just thought it would be a fun way to jazz up my front little yard without breaking the bank. And it's great for spring. Now, the next thing I want to share with you guys is you can take a wooden dowel or like a little thin shish kebab, or you can just take that piece of plastic, which is what I did, that was in the top, and run it down through the bottom to try to give it a little bit more stability, although mine is definitely whipping around in the wind. We live on the top of a hill, and so our hill catches so much wind. So the minute I put it out there, we're getting some rain soon. So there you guys have that. Check this out. Bloom where you're planted. This little flag is from Dollar Tree. And then again, so is the little garden stake. I also thought it would be fun to share with you guys these cute little Dollar Tree tulips, and they're like little wind milled tulips where they catch the wind and they spin around. Comment down below. I cannot think of what the correct word is for it. I know is it a windmill? Anyway, they're little tulips that spin around, and they caught my eye. I don't know. I think they're just so adorable. I think kiddos or grandkids would love this, and honestly, I got a super big kick out of waiting to see when they would catch the wind, and here they are. I was so hoping to get that on camera for you guys, but how stinking cute is that? Now, this is an empty planter bed. I think I'm going to pop into Walmart this weekend and see if I can't find some plants. And I also have to share with you guys that my jonquils or daylilies are getting ready to pop out. In fact, they should be popping out tomorrow, and I can't wait to share when they bloom in my front yard. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I have to share with you guys another fun little fake cake bake, and this is just with one of those little Dollar Tree cups. They have the most super adorable cups out at Dollar Tree. You guys are going to have to grab a pack if you see them. They're in the spring fling section of my store, but I'm just going to take some of this featherweight DAP spackling, and I added some little foam into the top of the cup, and that way I didn't have to use so much spackling. But you can just cut out like a little round of that little Dollar Tree foam board and pop that into the top. You guys can also use an empty ribbon roll cardboard container and just hot glue that to the top as well. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you guys have on hand. Now I'm taking my little Dollar Tree crafting tool, and I'm just using that to kind of make the spackling look a little bit more realistic. We are going to pop some things on top of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to decorate the top of it most likely, so just take a deep breath and have fun with your fake cake baking. And again, I really think that this is a fun one to do with kiddos and grandkids. I did this with my daughter years ago, and she thinks they're fun to look at now, but I don't think she's as interested anymore crafting with mom, but that's okay. She still does pop into my crafting studio. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this little bunny rabbit, and I used some DAP spackling again to pop my bunny rabbit on, and then I'm just using some of that Dollar Tree vase filler. It's this little tiny pieces from the vase filler, and I'm using the spackling to adhere the little vase filler foam balls because I really felt like they looked like jelly beans. So I mean, this project is so inexpensive and so fun, and you guys can get so creative with this. You can do all kinds of colors, you can add some sprinkles, and to make sprinkles, you can use little tiny hair ties, and you can just cut those up, or like the little hair rubber bands. The other thing you can do is you can take foam, and you can cut foam into little bitty tiny pieces as well, or you can order some off of Etsy or Amazon to make really fun little sprinkles. Okay, so now I am going to take some featherweight spackling again, and I'm just going to rim the bottom of this. I didn't think it looked super bad with a cardboard bottom, but I do want to make it look a little bit more realistic, so I'm adding some of the spackling as well. Now it's down to the very bottom, very bottom of this, so I did end up having to go to Home Depot and grab some more spackling while my daughter was at dance. I popped in there. Now I'm going to use one of those little Dollar Tree this is just a cake decorating kit. I left that out so you guys could see what that looks like. It's in the kitchen section, and I put the spackling into my piping bag, and I'm just going to pipe it. And this was actually one of the first ones I did, and I was super nervous to do this. I haven't done it in forever, and so I felt like my decorating needs a little bit of work, but and I also got impatient and like moved my cakes around a little bit, and so there's some spots on them that like you can tell that the spackling kind of got moved around. So I will give you guys a tip to try to be patient, and whatever you're going to have your cake on top of, you probably want to just like leave it on top of wax paper, and that way you don't have to move it around, but let it dry. It needs to dry for 24 hours. So that's just a little tip. Okay, so for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super adorable little egg cupcake. So this, I'm going to take one of the little Dollar Tree foam eggs and a little cupcake liner, and I'm just going to take the spackling and I'm going to cover the whole egg in the spackling. Now you're going to get messy with your hands on this one, but this is another fun one you guys can do with all ages. Just make sure that nobody's tasting the spackling, because it is just something that you're going to use like as putty to patch your wall or whatnot. So this is not edible. This is just for fake bake treats. Okay. So I'm taking my little spatula again, and I'm running all the spackling all the way around it till I get almost all the way to the bottom. And then to adhere my little egg, I'm just going to put a generous layer inside of my little cupcake. And you guys can tell it gets a little bit slimy and sloppy. And I think now looking back on it, I should have left the egg on its little stake. So this is one of those Dollar Tree foam eggs, and they come actually already on a stake. And I should have left it on its little kebab. So you guys can learn from my mistake there. Anyway, I'm popping in a bunch of spackling to the bottom of my cupcake liner, and then finishing up with my cupcake. And you guys can tell my hands are messy. I'm popping that in there. And then I just took the cupcake liner and kind of formed it around the egg to kind of give it a little bit more cupcakey shape, or to just make it look like a cupcake egg, I guess. Anyway, you guys just have fun with it. This was kind of like a trial one. I'm using this little pink glitter ball vase filler on top, and then I'm just going to add in some sprinkles. And again, you guys can use fake sprinkles, or for this one I did use some real sprinkles. Now let me tell you, if you guys have ants or anything like that, you probably don't want to use real sprinkles, but I was just getting creative and having fun crafting it up. But you guys can cut little tiny rubber bands to make sprinkles, or you can cut up some like little bitty foam pieces, or even use some little beads. I've done that before. Okay, so I added it into another cupcake liner, and that made it look a little bit more cupcakey in my opinion, so it wasn't just like all mashed up, because that first liner did get kind of a little bit wet with the spackle, but I thought it turned out super adorable. I'm going to play around with this idea, and I'm also going to share with you guys in my next video how to do a cupcake, a faux cupcake that requires no spackling, so it's like a mess free one, but it does require hot glue. So anyway, for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a cute little spackled egg. Okay, or egg cake, but we are going to use spackling, and this is going to be in our Dollar Tree piping bag again, and I'm just taking this little golden egg, and this is just half of an egg. You could also do the inside of an egg. I thought that might be super cute. I might show you guys that in another video if I can find another egg. I think I've lost one of my eggs. But anyway, I'm just going to take my spackling. I rimmed it around the side of my egg, and then I'm going to go down the front part of my egg. Now, I did run low on spackling, so I wasn't able to cover the entire egg, but you could cover the entire egg, or you could just do part of it like I did. I think it looks super adorable anyway. So, and I'm also going to share with you guys too how to make those little sprinkles, but continue to pipe your spackling. The only thing that was tricky about this too was like when I moved my egg around to try to share with you guys on the camera, I touched like the bottom part of the egg and I moved it around too much. So I do have my goodies laid down too on wax paper, and that helps it be able to remove, because the spackling will take 24 to 48 hours really to dry completely. So you guys kind of have to be patient with it. Also, to adhere your sprinkles, I put my sprinkles on when the spackling is still wet, but you guys can let it dry and then add Mod Podge and then put your sprinkles on that way. So that's just another idea for you guys. Again, we're kind of learning as we go here, and I'm just kind of giving you guys my little tips that I kind of learned to trial and error here. I'm not like a super cake maker, but I do have fun with it. Okay, now I have these little foam bunnies, and these are like the perfect color for my Easter goodies. Now, the only thing about the Dollar Tree foam bunnies is they did have some wording on the back, but I'm just going to cut them in really, really tiny pieces, so I don't really think that you're going to notice, but you may just want to grab some plain foam that doesn't have any of like the letters on the back. Anyway, you just take your little scissors and give it a good cutting. And I will tell you guys, I don't normally craft with child scissors, although I have lost my really nice pair of scissors somewhere in my craft room. Again, I really think it might be time for me to begin to organize my craft room. So continue to cut your little foam pieces and see how this like makes the cutest little sprinkles. You guys can also use those little tiny hair rubber bands that you would use in like, you know, a child's hair, like to make a little tiny pony in. And that makes really cute little sprinkles as well. So just some ideas for you guys on how to make some faux sprinkles and give your little fake bake some good old-fashioned sprinkling. And then there you guys have that. So how fun and fabulous does this look? Oh my goodness, you guys popped into all these little fun Easter faux treats, and they're not perfect, but they're perfectly fun to make, and just have fun with it. You guys really can't mess these up. Again, I did these with my daughter when she was tiny. And so anyway, okay, so for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super yummy and healthy parfait. We're going to make two different kinds of parfaits. We're going to make a yogurt one to start out with. So maybe this could be for like a healthy yogurt treat. And I'm just going to take 2 Go-Gurts, or you guys could just use yogurt, and then a banana. And I'm going to slice my banana. And I also have raspberries that I'm going to add into this, and some little granola. But you guys use any yogurt you have on hand. I just happen to have this because my daughter loves these Go-Gurts, and I make these as her dessert. So they're a healthy treat, and they're pretty delicious as well. So I'm going to squeeze one of the Go-Gurts into the bottom of my little clear cup, and then I'm going to add a layer of bananas. So this is like just a fun way to get in your fruits and also your yogurt without it, like, you know, it just looks fun too, and like a clear little glass. So again, I'm just adding in a layer of bananas, and then I'm going to add in some raspberries. Now, my daughter loves raspberries, but if you don't care for raspberries, you could also do like some blueberries or some more bananas or strawberries. We've used those before. Really, any fruit that your kiddos love or that you love, go for it. Now add another layer of yogurt, and again, I'm using Go-Gurts because this is my daughter's favorite, and this one was for her. And then I'm just going to add in some more bananas. And for the second bit of the Go-Gurt, I left a little bit in the bottom of the tube. That way I could have some for the topping. You could also use some whipped cream. That would be fun to use as well. and that's making me really hungry for some ice cream or whipped cream. Now I'm going to add in some more raspberries to top that off with, and then there you guys have like a fun little easy healthy treat. And then I'm going to add that little last squeeze of Go-Gurt to the top. And then you can add some granola. We like to buy the Bear granola at Walmart. It's pretty good, and my daughter really likes it. At this stage in the game, when you have teenagers, you kind of just have to buy what they love and they'll eat. So anyway, I'm just going to pop some granola onto the top of this, and this is like a really good snack for after she has dance, or she's a really active teen, and so she needs lots of like fruits and veggies, and she needs a lot of like kind of carbs for recovery. And so this gets a lot of those veggies in and just some really healthy yumminess. Now for me, I'm going to use a sugar-free Jell-O cup. I also like to make these with yogurt, but I was really craving like a chocolate bite. And since I'm really trying to be more healthy and get back into shape for summer, I'm going to use this sugar-free Jell-O vanilla, or it's a vanilla chocolate swirl cup, and it's sugar-free. So now I'm going to take a banana, and I'm going to add a little bit more of that pudding to the bottom because I wanted the most of the pudding to be in the bottom, but then I left like half of it to continue my layers. The next thing I want to do is slice up my banana, and bananas are super healthy for you. They're a great little treat. I was doing like low carb like all the way with no fruits, but I'm back like eating just tons of fruits and veggies really more than anything, and trying to watch my refined sugars, and also just trying to be healthy, which is eating lots of fruits and veggies is healthy, I think. So the next thing I'm going to do is just pop in some bananas for my next layer. So I have the Jell-O pudding and then some bananas, and I was really craving chocolate. I don't know if you guys have that like in the afternoon and the evening where you just get a crazy chocolate craving, but I felt like this really was sufficient, and it was also pretty healthy. So now I'm going to add in another layer of the Jell-O pudding, and then another layer of bananas. And you guys can get really creative with this and use different fruits. You can use different puddings. You don't have to use sugar-free pudding. I like to make regular pudding too and use half and half and just make it like really juicy and delicious. But again, I am trying to watch it here, so I'm going for the sugar-free option. I just layered in some more bananas and then the rest of the pudding at the top. So then I had a really yummy treat, and the pudding cups on their own to me don't really fill me up like when I really need like a really good snack. And again, I have also been trying to walk Bingy Bear for 30 minutes in the morning and then 30 minutes in the afternoon. And sometimes I'm great at that and sometimes not. But here's how both of my little sweet treats turned out. And I'm going to have a little nibble of this and tell you guys what I think. And oh my goodness, it was so delicious and so yummy. So for the next DIY in this video, I want to share with you guys how to make a mac and cheese Kraft macaroni, which I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make a Chick-fil-A dupe. So this is my take on the Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, which my daughter is completely hooked on. So this is mainly more for her. It's not exactly the healthiest. So you're first going to go ahead and cook your Kraft mac and cheese or any mac and cheese just exactly how the package directs it. So you're going to boil your water, and then, I usually boil my noodles for about 8 minutes. I like them pretty soft. And so does my daughter. So again, and my husband and my son, everybody loves mac and cheese here. So again, this is not like a reduced fat recipe. So reduce your fat wherever you feel need. But I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of butter and then some sliced up cheese. And that was probably about a couple of tablespoons of cheese there. And I'm just going to pop that into my noodles once they're done cooking. And I put my pan back on the heat after it had kind of cooled off a little bit, but it still has a little bit of heat. And that way it's going to melt my butter and my cheese in with my noodles. So again, this is a fun one to make if you love that Chick-fil-A mac and cheese. And then I'm going to use 1/4 cup of half and half. You can also use milk if you want to, or you can go with heavy cream. There's Bingy Bear. He loves watching me cook, and his little ear was flipped back. But anyway, I did go ahead and add in the packet of mac and cheese, like the cheese part of the packet. I put that in as well. So it's going to be so cheesy and delicious. And then the secret to it too is to add some Parmesan cheese. Now this isn't exactly how the dupe is. Like when you look on Pinterest, they want you to make like a from scratch mac and cheese, which that's fine to do as well. This is just a really quick, easy thing you can do when you're in a rush, you know, if your kiddos are starving and you just need to whip something up really fast. Okay, so I added in some Parmesan cheese, and I believe that was about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. So if you're sensitive to Parmesan cheese, though, you might want to reduce that to like just a couple of tablespoons. I don't know. Anyway, I really don't even usually measure this. I kind of just add stuff in. I added a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And then there I have a Chick-fil-A dupe. Yummy, delicious, and much, much, much more inexpensive than when you actually go to Chick-fil-A. For some reason, their stuff is pretty pricey sometimes. So anyway, you can make up a nice healthy batch. There's only 3 of us now that my older kids are off to college, so it's kind of becoming a little bit tricky learning how to cook like smaller portions of meals and different things. And mainly, you know, we cook for our daughter and then just my hubs and I. So there you guys have that if you have some mac and cheese lovers in your family. And then you can serve it with some healthy fruit and yogurt and then some veggies. And then, you know, we'll have like a main chicken meal or whatever. Those are just some fun little sides. So as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what's your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. I hope you guys are inspired to do some crafting, and I gave you some different ideas on some little treats, some healthy ones, and then our mac and cheese not so healthy. But I had so much fun creating this video for you guys. I hope you have a fabulous, gorgeous, blessed weekend. I am going to share with you guys my thrift store outfit of the day as well. And so look forward to that. We are getting ready to go on spring break this week, so I'm super excited for that. Not any big plans. I'll still put videos out, but I just thought that would be fun to mention. Thrift store outfit of the day. I have this pretty little kind of flirty floral top. It has this beautiful little romantic detail on it, and I have a tank underneath it so I could actually button it or unbutton it. And then I just have it paired with my Cool Mom jeans. I got these Old Navy like several years ago, and I just love them. They're super comfy. And then I found these pretty little pearl drop earrings at the thrift store as well. I thought it went pretty with the romantic top to kind of jazz it up just a little bit. And then I will share with you guys, I did get my nails done at a salon, and I got purple done on my nails and my toenails. Now that was a bit of a splurge. And usually I was doing my nails at home with the French tips, but it was actually beginning to tear my nails up. Reason being is because I craft so much that the tips were coming off constantly, and so it was tearing my nail bed up. So the acrylics have actually been staying on for 2 weeks, and then I just go in and get a fill. So again, that's a little bit of a splurge. I do love the Kiss nails, and I'll have some linked in my Amazon store if you guys want to do them at home, which I used to love always doing all my nails, but again, it was tearing them up just because I craft so heavily. But maybe if you're not crafting that much, that might be also still an option for you guys. But again, here is my thrift store outfit of the day. I hope you guys are inspired to put on a flirty romantic top, some little pearl earrings, and just have a great day. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. I want to hug all of your hearts so tight. I want to encourage you all to keep up the good work crafting and decorating. I feel like crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. It brings families together. It makes you beautify your home or others' homes or office spaces, just wherever you guys are at in your crafting and decorating journey. Give yourself grace and keep up the good work. Now listen, I would love to have you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel, punch that bell. It will update you every time I post a new video. I post several videos a week on YouTube, as well as several videos a day on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love to just keep you guys encouraged and motivated to craft and decorate and really tidy up your homes and make them gorgeous on a budget. You guys can totally do this. Okay, so also don't forget to pop over to my Livy's Romantic Home Facebook group page. I have a great little community over there of crafty decor friends that just get together and share photos of their DIYs and their home decor. So I love y'all to the moon and back. I have a very exciting month of March, tons of giveaways and fun things to share. We're gonna be crafting and decorating, tidying and baking. So I love y'all to the moon and back. Have a gorgeous, blessed day. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.